Hey everybody. So let's talk about Avengers Endgame, shall we? So I saw Avengers on opening night, and unlike everybody else out there, I'm sure is just in their pants over the film. I gotta admit, not too crazy about it actually. I thought it was a weak finale. I think the film was all over the place. And in case you didn't know, I'm also a writer, so some of the time travel stuff, spoilers. Oh, this is gonna be spoiler heavy, by the way, so you haven't seen Avengers Endgame, don't watch this video. Just don't do it. Go see it, then come back. I mean, go for the experience of anything, but for me, I'm a little bit more of a tough critic. I love Marvel, love Star Wars, but I'm calling down the crap. Because Star Wars is a pile of crap right now. And Marvel's on the way. A number of factors leading up to that, actually, include Captain Marvel, aka Captain Emo. Didn't see it. Was never going to. That simple on that. But Endgame was kind of a mess. I think my biggest problem was when I skipped like 5 years after they defeated Thanos for the first time or second time. In a little prologue scene, and then. See, in my opinion, I think they should have just killed off Stark in space. Give the team more motivation to do what they have to do. Because there's no real stakes. What I mean by that is when they go through time, there's no real risks. Like, the actual rule of time travel, when we go to another point in time, that overlaps the past or the future or whatever. And by Cap running into his younger self, that would affect the entire future, especially telling him that Bucky's alive. Because he doesn't find out until Winter Soldier, it's like years later. So that's the first problem. We're going to jump around a lot, so keep that in mind. My biggest problem with this film is the ending. Captain America going back to return all the stones or whatever. And then apparently living out his life and ignoring everything else that happens. Don't forget, Bucky's being tortured while he's frozen and unconscious and stuff. He could have actually saved him this time. He could have prevented all this, but instead he decides, oh no, forget Bucky, I'm just gonna get laid. Selfish. It's out of character. Are you telling me Captain America would have really ignored that, knowing what Bucky actually ends up doing? His best freaking friend, man. And then he gives the shield to Falcon of all people? Get out of here, Marvel. Get out of here. I mean, Falcon's been nothing but comic relief up until this point. You expect me to take him seriously as Captain America? Are you freaking kidding me? And ignoring the comics, yes, he's getting the shield because his skin color is brown. Now that's out of the way. Story was weak. Finale was weak. Thanos went down like a punk, in my opinion. Captain America wielding Mjolnir was pretty cool. That's like my favorite part of the film. It was like 30 seconds though, so I don't know if that really counts. Thor was a bitch, as usual. Not surprised at all. I mean, he was awesome in Infinity War. For like the 2 minutes he actually had an actual weapon to use. Then they retracted all his character development back to what he was in Thor Ragnarok, which I've never seen, never will see. Because it's a freaking comedy. And this, he's a joke. You're telling me he's affected that much by not being able to kill Thanos from the Infinity War? Well, don't freaking cry about it. Do something about it. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to just get right back up and go find Thanos and kick his ass again. In fact, he should have been leading the damn attack, in my opinion. It's freaking Thor, man. He's been nothing but a puss up until this point. Infinity War was his best role by far. Then they go right back to where he was in Thor 3. Again, I've never seen that one. Saw like the beginning, but I can't do it, man. I can't do it. And as far as Captain Marvel goes, so glad she was not in the film for more than like 5 minutes. Thank goodness. Because I'm talking behind the scenes stuff that people don't pay attention to, man. People that are disappointed Captain Marvel didn't have much to do, well, if you were paying attention to all the comments she was making, you know exactly why. She was with the disciples. The Russo brothers didn't want her in their film. So what they do, they shot 2 versions of the film. One with Captain Marvel, one without her. They picked the one where she had like 10 minutes of screen time. Then she shows up towards the end. Spoilers. Thanos headbutts her off the screen, basically, and I'm just leaping for joy because I can't stand that actress. I mean, she's a terrible actress. She has no personality. She doesn't know how to freaking smile at all. It's ironic, ain't it? Because people say that I'm all serious and stuff in my stupid job. Well, else people can kiss my ass, by the way. But, I mean, I'm not. I mean, I don't like people, but, you know, it's not the same as being serious all the time. People just get on my nerves. That's the bottom line. But, yeah. Yeah, there was no real risks in my opinion. Of course, taking a risk of going back in time, and like something interesting I would have done. What if they landed in the wrong time and had to find their way back? And I ran into an old villain or something like Red Skull or Ultron or Ironmonger. That would, to me, would have been more interesting than just hopping around. Grab a stone, presto change, go right back. Like, it's kind of boring, man. There's no suspense. There's no risks. Somehow you know they're going to succeed. Well, the best parts about Back to the Future were the parts where Marty kind of messed up and left the time machine like open for what's his name? I can't remember that guy. Biff. Yeah. To sneak in there and rewrite the damn future. It was one of the coolest parts of Back to the Future Part 2. Even Part 1 where he has to go back and make his parents fall in love with each other. That's interesting stuff. They took all of that away. They took the coolest part about time travel out of time travel, which to me made it incredibly boring. Sorry I'm not kissing up to the mouse, but sorry Marvel, but you guys kind of messed this one up. year and a half waiting for this film, and it's a lame ass finale. And I'm calling it what it is. It's a lame finale. It sucked. But the part that really got my nerves was Pepper Potts. Spoilers. Wearing a suit of armor. This had to be the equivalent of freaking Batgirl and Batman and Robin. Stupid. Made no sense. I didn't need it. I didn't need it. I mean, this just literally came out of nowhere. I'm like, what the frick? They're like, oh, Stark. It's like, oh, your mom, they're just making wear everything I make her. I'm like, the hell is Pepper Potts need a suit of armor for? Chick's been nothing but a damsel in distress and basically a side character like she's supposed to be. What setup was there for this chick to all of a sudden wear a suit of armor like she's actually a fighter or something? Like, get out of here. No, but in Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3, she was injected with something and then it was taken out of her like the next day. That's not setup. That's like more like convenience. She should have died in that one anyway, so. Sorry, that just doesn't work for me, man. It really doesn't. Sorry for all mess with my mask thing, I just can't see. Alright, that's better. But yeah, Tony Stark dying, didn't need that either. Um, I get that Marvel Universe starts and ends with Tony Stark, but I'm just like, Thor could have done that and still survived. Didn't need to sacrifice Iron Man for anything, really didn't. And Doctor Strange, once again, could have used the time gem to stop all this from happening. There was only one way, Stark. You gotta sacrifice yourself. Good grief. This kind of makes me not like Infinity War that much because there's no payoff for me. I'm gonna talk about myself. There's no payoff for me. I don't need Sam Wilson to have the freaking Captain America shield all of a sudden. He hasn't earned it. It should have been Bucky. Bucky has known Cap for years. Sam like literally met him in Winter Soldier, and that's about it. Not as close as he is with Bucky Barnes. There's no comparison. Like I said before, ignoring the comics, this is the only reason he got the shield. Because it's getting another political move, like Black Panther winning all those stupid awards that it didn't earn. Because there's black people in Black Panther, and apparently all of a sudden black people everywhere are like, oh my god, black people in the film. As if Morgan Freeman, Samuel Jackson, Denzel Washington, Kevin Hart, and all those people haven't been doing their thing for years. Not because of their skin color, because of their talent. People don't bring up people's talent, they just say skin color. How is it not a stereotype to get an award because you're black or brown or have Caucasian skin? See what I mean? And it's ironic, speaking of diversity, there's this really stupid moment in the film where all these broads, Wasp, Captain Emo, freaking Pepper Potts, one of those African chicks, the bald one, the bald ugly one. Which one's the ugly one? They all like form this big freaking circle and whatnot, and it's just like, it's a huge cry for diversity, and it's really stupid. It's so obvious what they're doing next. This is why I'm out. I'm done. This is my last Marvel film. I'm done, man. I don't even care about the next Spider-Man film. I'm done. And that's it, man. It's over. It's so clear where they're going next. There will be no more dudes on the Avengers. nothing but chicks and all this estrogen and girl power. Like, yeah, no. No. It wasn't earned. It's literally shoehorned into the film. I'm surprised that these same directors that made Infinity War managed to squeeze this in there. I've said it before. They're squeezing all this propaganda crap into these films. People don't give a shit about their propaganda, man. They really don't. I don't watch Marvel films for propaganda. I don't watch Star Wars for freaking diversity. Okay? It's dumb. It's not the point of the story. And I'm telling people, I'm like, when you put diversity ahead of the story, it's a problem. And that's what they're doing. Captain Marvel is a huge cry for diversity. There's tons of girl characters all over the place. I'm pretty sure Resident Evil or whatever, I think that's a game series or something, is led by a chick. Terminator, technically the main character of Terminator is Sarah Connor, so that's debatable, I'm sure. But, you know, I don't have a problem with diversity if it makes sense, you know? I mean, like, in my opinion, I think what Marvel should have done was when Doctor Strange comes back, opens all them portals, that would have been the opportunity to introduce new realities into the Marvel Universe, starting with the X-Men and maybe Miles Morales, Spider-Man. If you're all about diversity, might as well just do that and get rid of Peter Parker, because Peter Parker's particular universe isn't really diversified. You know what I mean? Like, it's Flash Thompson is as pasty white as you can get. I mean, I mean no offense to the actors and whatnot, but I'm just saying, if you want to make new characters, make new characters. But do not take the name Flash Thompson and make him something else. Don't take Mary Jane Watson and make her a black girl and say it's the same character. Like, give me a break. Please. Like, seriously. It's like, it's such a turn off. And it's, yeah, I'm out, man. I'm done. Like, it was a terrible finale, in my opinion. Oh, look, everybody captured Avengers Assemble. Yeah, okay, cool. Great. Good for you, Cap. Dang it. But this is not a film I'd ever see again. I had enough. I'm done. I think the thing that pisses me off is that this is actually the end of the Marvel Universe. Everything after this is going to be a pile of crap. I called it months ago, and now it's actually coming forward in front of my eyes. So, I hate to say I told you so, but I told you so. It's not good. It's not good. It really started with Black Panther, actually. This whole cry for diversity crap. It started with Black Panther, and that film sucked. But there's black people in the film, Pete. Don't you like it? Not really. But, yeah. So, Avengers Endgame for me, 6 out of 10. Below average for me. I think a lot of stuff was rushed. For 3 hours, man, they could have done so much more. They had not skipped 5 years in between events. 5 years, man? Come on. Like, seriously, dude. The thing about time travel is what should have happened, we should have had a different threat. Maybe alongside Thanos. Or maybe they have to fight a threat on top of Thanos and the stones or whatever. You know, Red Skull is on that planet and whatnot, but I would have introduced Doctor Doom, in my opinion. I would have introduced Doctor Doom as a threat, even if they're just introducing him to set up future films. Or I would have had someone be a Skrull infiltrating the team instead of that robot chick. How did no one suspect the robot chick? I mean, like, what's her name, Nebula or something? How did no one suspect the robot chick? I'm like, hey, I hope this chick who was totally not working with Thanos in the past doesn't come back to haunt us. They'd never suspect the robot chick. None. Not in a million years. Let's totally trust this chick with our lives. Please. Oh, how convenient that she happens to be in the past and be affected by what's going on in the future. Please. It's lazy writing. Lazy, lazy, lazy. See, where Infinity War succeeded with its creativity, I feel like Endgame did the exact opposite and retracted a whole bunch. And that's where it lost me, story wise. I just thought it was weak, man. I think it could have been a lot better. I'm disappointed. So I would never see this again. Not in theaters, maybe Blu-ray, just to have it on Blu-ray, but I'll never watch it again. It's a shame, but I'm not good at letting go of some things, but I don't know. I think I'm just more ticked off that this is the end of the MCU, as I know it. The good MCU, because after this, it's going to be a pile of crap. They called it months ago, honestly. People just don't want to see it. They don't want to admit it, you know? They just don't want to admit when something's going downhill. It was inevitable. Captain Marvel was the beginning of the end. That's why I never saw it. Like, this is the beginning of the end. I was excited for Captain Marvel, and then I remembered that Endgame was like a month away. So, like, you know what? Let me skip Captain Emo and wait for Avengers. Again, I would have had scrolls or something in there to set up the next couple of years of films, but this is literally the end of the freaking series. There's rumors about a freaking female Avenger team. Like, no, I don't think so. And I helped me to freak out. And I had no interest in seeing that at all. It sounds retarded, and I'm just done. So, moral of the story here, kids, is don't do drugs.